guys, what's going on? Welcome. My name is Shaquan and I am the trading educator at SLFX Trading. And in today's video, I'm going to be taking you guys through the currency pairs update. Okay, so yesterday I talked about Australian dollar, New Zealand dollar, AUDUSD, USD Swiss, USD JPY, so forth and so forth. So I talked about quite a few currency pairs. And I kind of want to give you guys updates on how these currency pairs have been moving. Now, last night in the Swing Trading Society, I mentioned a potential trade setup here on Australian dollar, New Zealand dollar when I was asleep. Might have another opportunity here if it plays itself out right, if the risk reward is worth it. And it has panned out and hit first targets. Unfortunately, I was not able to get in last night. I literally fell asleep immediately right after the meeting, but it's all good because first targets got hit. So I'm going to bring you guys through a quick recap of that trade setup here on my screen here, okay? As you guys can see here, this was the potential trade setup right here. Price came back down into my zone, pushed back up, gave a rejection candle, doji confirmation. This candle here was the entry candle, closed at 9 o'clock. First targets would have been taken right back off here, and they ended up getting hit. So let me move these numbers here. Okay, so they ended up getting hit, and so now you know there can be potential more upside movement for a second targets to be hit as well too. But we'll wait to see what happens. The analysis was right. Unfortunately, I was not in, but that's okay. Sometimes that happens in trading. You can't catch them all, right? This isn't Pokemon. You know, we're not trying to catch them all. We're trying to catch the best setups. And I fell asleep, but it's all good. So that's just an update to what's going on with pound, with AUD, New Zealand dollar. As you guys can see, price has pushed up. I'm going to go ahead and show you guys pound New Zealand, a pair that fell right within its play as well too. Had a zone here from yesterday too. Price pushed down into the zone and gave a very beautiful entry on the 4-hour as well at the same time. So if you saw yesterday's video, I'll link it somewhere below or up top, or you can check the description to catch that, or the end of this video, you can catch the video there too. I talked about grouping currency pairs, right? You know, simply put, if you group your currency pairs together based on the base currency or the quote currency, you can really catch good trades. So Australian dollar, New Zealand dollar had a really good play. Pound New Zealand had a really good play too. And, you know, if you take a look at Euro New Zealand dollar, it had a really good play as well. So all three of these pairs, the New Zealand dollar, you know, they all have something in common. The quote currency have been pushing up, while the NZD pairs have been pushing down. And if you saw my video earlier from this week dealing with New Zealand dollar, then you understand how I feel about that pair. And, you know, the opposites are happening too against that pair too. So currency pair correlations are very important. Now, what I'm going to go in today is just to recap Australian dollar. So let's go back up to the daily time frame. Now, I am in this trade to the upside. Right now, I'm in a little bit of a drawdown. But as long as we can stay above this exchange rate, I'm going to stay in my buy, because this could just be price retesting my entry right now. And if that's the case, I'm still looking for some more bullish momentum to the upside. So I'm going to stay in, and I'm not going to touch this trade unless price tells me to. And the only time I can do the opposite, which is to sell, is if price falls below this exchange rate. But until that happens, if that doesn't happen, I'm going to stay in my buy. And I'm just going to, you know, just say price is testing me right now, because the market likes to psychologically elf with us. And, you know, you have to understand that when you're trading, especially being a swing trader, things aren't always going to go your way like that. Not like Australian dollar, New Zealand dollar, not like pound New Zealand dollar, not like Euro NZD. But I am in two trades that's going my way, Euro AUD and New Zealand dollar Swiss. I mean, Euro UD to the upside, New Zealand dollar Swiss to the downside. So this is just one of those trades right now that just has me in drawdown, but I'm okay with that. So I'm still looking for price to see if price can push up per my analysis, because the exchange rates are getting higher. If not, we hedge in and we do the opposite. Another pair I want to take a look at really quick that could have really good potential, you guys. Euro JPY just hit my overall secondary targets. If you've been following me, and I do an update on this pair tomorrow, this full swing trading pair. If you follow me, I would say on Instagram they disabled me. I don't know why. Probably some spammers reporting me, trying to pretend they're me. So if y'all were on Instagram, if you see somebody with SLFX trading username, that's not me, you guys. There's someone pretending to be me, okay? So please bear that in mind. But right now, we could see a potential pushback, a potential retracement here on Euro JPY. I'll be doing an update on that full pair. It hit for over 500 pips, and I'm getting ready to share that with you guys tomorrow, okay? So keep a lookout for this video. Now, this could have a potential pullback. Today looks like we might be closing as a rejection candle. If we do close as a rejection candle, maybe potentially we could see price drop back down here to around 125 areas. And if that's the case, it'll be a really good trade to take back up to the upside. So that's that pair there. See, when you have your chart set up, analysis doesn't have to take long. Have a new higher high, new higher low. I'm going to change my colors. I always color coordinate my time frames. And we can see price have a slight pullback back into 125 area. Okay, so Euro USD, I am bullish. I am in profit. I got in yesterday after the doji confirmation or the doji spinning bottom. We'll see how this works out too. I'm still looking to see if price can push back up to the upside. I would not sell against this, just like AUDUSD, unless price pushes down below here out at 1.16 now for one at my exchange rate there. So it's always important to have your bias, right? I got asked last night, Shaquan, what happens when price is not fitting your bias? Like, what happens when you have to be neutral? Sometimes you'll be neutral on a pair, which means you can see a buy side and a sell side at the same time. And what I told the student was, I said, when you are biased, what's the strongest bias? Or when you're neutral, what's the strongest bias that you have? Do you see more of it going to the upside or more to the downside? And whichever one side that has the higher probability, that's the one you lean towards more. Like right now, because my exchange rate keeps getting higher, I'm leaning more towards the buy side. However, I know that potentially, because we don't know what's going to happen tomorrow in the future, price could drop. And if it does fall below that exchange rate, well, I'm going to do the opposite, right? But we can't do the opposite or fear the opposite more until the opposite happens, right? So that's when you're neutral, that's what you have to think about, but have your targets in mind too for the buy and the sell in case one of those things happens and then when things doesn't happen, right? That way you're prepared, and when it's time to execute, you get to execute. So that's that there. Another pair that I'm looking at right now is pound Swiss. It's back into one of my zones. As you guys can see, exchange rates are getting higher once again. Now, I'm not going to enter this one until maybe I don't trade Friday, so I'm going to wait to see what Friday's candle closure is going to look like. Looks like we're closing as an inverted hammer, so I'm going to wait to see how we close on Friday, which will probably determine how I enter on Monday candle closure. And if I get a really good entry on Monday, I'll enter to the upside. All right, but just got to wait to see what it's going to be like, okay? So New Zealand dollar had a bearish day. I'm hedged in on this position. So I'm negative the sell, I'm negative the buy, positive the sell, right? So I cut the bleeding off so I don't have to take a loss here. And we'll see how, what we do tomorrow. So determining tomorrow will depend on if I enter again or if I stay put in my hedge position. Very, very important when you're hedging, you guys. Understand your exit points on both directions. Understand your compound points as well, too. So if price keeps dropping, I'll keep getting into sales. That way, I will start to be equity positive in this particular currency pair. All right, equity positive means if I have something negative running against me and something positive running for me, if I want to cut the bleeding off, I need to add a position. So that way, when I do get out of the trade to the buy side, I'm not losing money. I'm recovering the loss and I make more profits, right? Very, very important when you're trading. That way you don't have to use stop losses. You just use hedge positions, okay? So that's that there. And then last but not least, you guys, so USD CAD is pushing to the downside. USD Swiss, I got into a sale yesterday. I'm positive. USD JPY, I'm not doing anything right now. As you guys can see, it looks like we're going to close as a doji. She's still in my zones. If I get a bearish candle on Friday, I'll be selling again. And then gold has hit my target here as far as pushing back up to the upside. I will see what she does tomorrow. If she's bearish tomorrow, I'll probably get in another hedge position to the downside, and I'll be positive if it keeps going down in my sell, if I have to do that, and then negative to the buy. But if she keeps pushing up, I'll recover and I'll stay positive in my buy, okay? But other than that, you guys, this is how I'm looking at the currency pairs for right now. These are just updates, recaps, and reviews to what I'm looking to as well. Analysis does not have to be long, you guys. That's one thing I learned. When your charts are prepared and ready for you, you don't have to keep trying to get prepared because you already know what it is that you're looking at, okay? So I have a video coming out about that tomorrow, how to observe and analyze and do quick analysis, right? But basically it's going to be how to simplify your analysis, okay? That way you get to analyze it quicker, you get to enter in even quicker, okay? Because your charts are already being set up for you. So without further ado, you guys, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Make sure you're subscribed. Make sure you had that notification bell on, and I'll see you guys tomorrow.